Yeah, nah, I agree. Then the last story, which is a huge story, Pro Wrestling Illustrated every year drops their top 500 wrestlers list, includes, men and women on the list. The top 10, well, all 500 just dropped 3 days ago. And I just want to take a look at the top 10. Um, at number 10 is Mystico. He's from CMLL down in Mexico. You got the Ring General, not the Bad General. Don't get that confused. Gunther at number 9. John Moxley at 8. MJF at 7. Damian Priest really surprised me at 6. Naito from New Japan. Seth freaking Rollins at 4. Will Ospreay at 5, at 3. Swerve Strickland, shout out to the brothers at number 2. And then, of course, number 1 is no surprise, the person that finished the story this year, Cody Rhodes. So what do you think of that top 10 list? I also got some of the other lists if you want ideas of who has been number 1 in the past, especially like recently. But
Mhm.
what's your thoughts on 2024's top 10 wrestlers?
Um, I got a few things. One, I'm surprised Roman is not on this list. On the top 10. I'll take that back. He's
Mm,
probably still on the
mm.
list, but I'm surprised he's not in the top 10. Um, Another thing I agree with Drew with Damian Priest. He's probably the one that surprises me the most. And the fact that he's over essentially on this list over Roman. Um, so that's probably the two. Cody makes sense to be on there. Swerve makes sense. I've heard about Will Ospreay. I heard he's pretty good. Seth makes sense. The New Japan ones, I haven't watched any
Naito.
New Japan. Yeah. MJF, I know that he's an edgy um
Mm.
um wrestler. John Moxley, of course, I know who he is. And Gunther. I mean, Gunther kind of proved himself. I mean, he's went on that long reign as an IC champion, so I get that. And he's when he's in the ring, he's good. I'm definitely not taking the chop from him. So I mean, I feel like again, I feel like Roman should be in the top 10. I'm not saying he should be one, but I think he should be in the top 10. And Damian Priest, that's a surprise to me. That's my thoughts on it.
So know what you think.
Yeah, I think missing Roman is wild. I think he's probably top three. Really and truly, he like
Even
no
with being
negative.
inactive?
I mean, he single-handedly kind of brung back WWE over the last 3 years, and then was a part of one of the biggest storylines that came to its climax to some degree in WrestleMania this year. So, coming from 2022 all the way to 2024, being on damn near weekly before he started becoming a little bit more inactive, his wrestling, his storylines, his character is no way he's not top three, top four on this list. You know what I mean? Then I'm cool with Cody Rhodes. I seen Swerve doing this thing. Will Ospreay is nice as shit. You know, wish we got him, but he was nice as shit. Seth definitely deserved to be on the list. I'm not a big Seth guy, but for his part and what he was doing and how he was able to help tell a story while wrestling on one leg and doing crazy shit, he definitely should be on the list. Gunther, I think Gunther deserves to be on the list. As a different
Mhm.
character, something new. I'm glad that they're bringing something new. I'm tired of seeing the same shit. Um, MJF, I know he's edgy. I don't know if I'll put him in the top 10 as of yet. Maybe top 15. That's just me. Damian Priest might be maybe top 15, top 20. And the reason why I say Damian Priest around that number, I like the difference. I like the difference in the different characters coming in. And, he came in with the Judgment Day, then his character slightly changed in the Judgment Day, then the Terror Twins, and he had a good match with Gunther and stuff like that. I'm cool with him being top 15, top 20, but it's just a few people missing in my book.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the list was interesting. there weren't a lot of surprises. I think I probably would have had Gunther a little bit higher. I probably would have had MJF a little higher. Um, I could see the Roman thing going either way. In 2020, Roman wasn't in the top 15, or I think he was like number 14, but he was out most of the year. He got health issues, didn't want to be, around everybody in the middle of COVID, then came back late in that year. The list comes out like August, September every year. So,
Okay, I
when
was
you're
just about
not
to
on
ask you
TV,
that.
yeah, the
Yeah.
list just came out last week or early this
Okay.
week. So,
Okay.
he had just came back for SummerSlam at that time. So he wasn't high on the list. So I think, he could he be in the top 10 or at least in the top 15? For sure. He's not in the top 15 even.
Mm.
He's not in the top 100. Like
That's
full
crazy.
disclosure, he's not in the top 100
Wow.
for
Wow.
That's
for
crazy.
inactivity. But
Wow.
I also think about it like this: how many matches Roman wrestled this year?
One. Well, no, no, we got it.
Two,
Two.
three, maybe. He didn't wrestle at Royal Rumble,
He didn't wrestle at Elimination
Fastlane,
Chamber or
or
Fastlane,
or
whatever.
or Elimination Chamber, and then he wrestled two matches WrestleMania weekend, and then he was gone, and then he came back recently,
Hasn't
and
had a
he still
match
hasn't
yet.
wrestled. He has a match in October. He's
Okay.
inactive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get that point. I get that point. I do.
I get Shanoa point impact. Like his impact is high. Now he
Mm.
has been a number one in recent years, but he also has been number two multiple years. I think, hold on, I'll tell you right now. So in 2023, so just last year, he was number two to Seth Rollins, which I agree because Seth
Makes sense.
Rollins was the workhorse.
Yeah.
Roman was working when he felt like it.
Hmm.
Um, in 2022, Roman was number one. In 2021, Roman was number two to Kenny Omega, which I would say same thing. Kenny had like five world championships that year.
Right.
And then 2020, which I just mentioned, Roman is number 14. He's actually
Okay.
one spot ahead of the current GM of SmackDown, Nick Aldis, who was the
Mm.
NWA world champion at the time.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So like, Roman definitely is a head scratcher in some ways. I would argue that Moxley has been pretty inactive on AEW. Yeah, he's working in Japan a lot, but not everybody's watching that.
Mm.
Um, Cody at one makes sense, but man, I probably would have put Swerve at one.
Yeah,
No
they're
disrespect to Cody.
interchangeable. Right.
Yeah, I probably would have put Swerve at one. I probably would have had Gunther in the top five. He had a 600 something day run. I hear world champion on the same year. He putting people over even when he beats them.
I gotta
So
ask
yeah,
though. I gotta
And he
ask.
calling people trash.
he's wilding.
You have the list right in front of you, right?
Mm-hmm. Of this year or a different year?
This year, of this year.
This year. Yep.
Is Logan Paul above Roman? Is he even listed in this
I'm saying
top five?
that I don't see Logan. I mean, I don't
Okay.
see Roman listed at all. So I would say that
Oh,
Roman, because he's inactive,
because
don't
he
even worry
wasn't
about
active.
where
So
Roman is
it's
at. Do you want to know where Logan Paul is?
yes.
Do you think he's in the top 100?
I believe that who made this list probably put him in the top 100.
Do you think he's in the top 50?
I say they probably put him in the top 25.
He's not in the top 25,
Okay.
if that
So that
makes you
makes me
feel
feel a little
better.
better. Yes, it
Okay.
does.
He's number 37.
Okay.
What's all
I
that
could
hate?
But
I'm
for context, right? And Trey, we was just talking about this right before we started the pod, right? I
mm,
named somebody who I think if more people had access to watch him, he would easily be a number one on this list. He's always like straddling between like 15 and like top 25. He's only four spots away from Logan Paul, and that's Zach Sabre Jr.
mm,
So you're
mm,
telling me that Logan Paul is, and I would argue Sabre Jr. to me is better than Will Ospreay,
mm.
and Logan Paul
And
four spots away. And
Again,
then
I
Chanel, this will make you feel good. Your guy, your boy Trick, is ahead of Logan Paul.
Better. Fuck.
Trick is at 28.
Yeah.
But who's
Shit.
right in front of Trick Williams? LA Knight at 27.
I mean, I can't argue that dude got a
Hmm.
championship. He's been working. He's been very popular over the last. Like, if it makes sense, I'm not gonna argue. Like, if I can
Hmm.
see it, or if
hmm
anybody can see it, or you have a decent argument, cool. You know what I mean? So
But I would argue the person that's ahead of one spot ahead of both of them is insane. Adam Copeland, Edge.
how the fuck? Okay, I'm about to go. I wasn't going to drink tonight. I don't know.
Oh
Adam Copeland.
man,
Hmm.
that is okay.
You
I,
know
I
who we
wonder
talk
what's
about all the time who's missing? I'm surprised I ain't bring him up. Drew McIntyre not in the top 10.
What?
and
Yeah,
he's
that's
been work.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. And
yeah,
he's
that's
been
crazy.
working.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. What's the criteria? Like, how do they
It's everything. Mic work,
pause?
in the ring.
Woo.
Yeah,
Ha,
pause.
ha.
Pause. I mean, that shit, ring work,
hmm
star level matches, so multiple star level matches.
Right.
It's a little bit of everything. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre are outside the top 10, but in the top 15.
I think Drew McIntyre definitely need to be in top 10. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. And if they're basing
Who?
this off the previous year,
Hmm.
I'm assuming, yeah, he needs to be in the top. He needs
He
to be
needs to
in the
be in the
top
top
10.
10.
I
He's
think
been
it's like
working.
fourth quarter of last year and then the first three quarters of this year. I think that's how they build it because the issue of the magazine doesn't come out until December. So like
Mm.
they have already selected the people long before the magazine comes out. But like Samoa Joe was rated ahead of them.
And where's he at now? He's still in AEW or he's in
Still in
TNA?
AEW. He was
Oh, okay.
AEW champion in the fourth quarter of last year. He beat MJF. He had the good match with CM Punk.
hmm
Punk's last match in AEW.
Okay.
Who I think he dropped it to Swerve.
It was for
He dropped
okay.
the belt to Swerve. So like, everything that he did was important in the last year. Do I think he's 11? Like right outside the top 10?
Mm.
Hell
So
no.
he's
But
so
like,
he's over Daniel Bryant. Daniel
so
Bryan.
crazy. 11, Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn 12, McIntyre 13. Again, Zayn is ahead of McIntyre. And then Bryan Danielson, number 14. And then Moose, who was world champion in TNA Impact for a
Mm.
minute, is number 15. Jay
Mm.
Uso, 17.
Jay is 17.
Top 20.
Okay.
Top 20.
Yeah, I could take that with Jay. I could take that with Jay. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this I
Snow
mean
like he about to slap somebody.
like he's ready. Like
He
he's like,
said,
yo,
wait, Drew McIntyre win?
Yeah, that's outrageous. Like, I can't believe he's at number 10. I mean, he's not even at at least in the top 10. That's outrageous for a guy of that caliber doing what he's doing. He's probably has some of the best storylines.
hmm
The best vignettes. He's doing crazy social media posts. He's dissing the shit out of people. I didn't think he wasn't bad on the mic, pause, but he I didn't think he was actually at the level where he's at now. Like you actually want to see him get up and talk and talk his shit and diss people and be disrespectful. Like he has a knack for it. Especially when him and CM Punk was kind of going at it. You could tell it was crazy off script. And they
hmm
going at it. And when they say something good, you see one of them smirk. They're like, that's a good one. You got me on that one. That was some good shit. We might have to fight in the back, but that was good, motherfucker.
Slap, slap fire out you.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so, for him to be outside of the top 10 is outrageous. Like, that's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, just looking at the list and thinking about it, like McIntyre, Zayn, I think Sammy being at 12 is good, but I don't know if Sammy
Time
what
out.
happened?
Kevin Owens.
Oh, you
Where
wanna
is
know what
he?
KO is at? Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me look. Hold
Oh, I should be pissed.
on. Oh my God.
He about to
I
be
don't even think
pissed.
y'all want to know, honestly. We should
Yo,
just
I
skip
think
past this, honestly.
nah. I'm gonna say he's outside of the top 100.
He's inside the top 100.
Okay, he's not top 50.
He's not top 50.
Mm,
And just in front of him, and these are just notable names I know y'all know already. At
hmm
45 is Rey Mysterio. At 48 is Carmelo Hayes. At 51 is Joe Hendry. At 52 is Braun Breaker. At 53 is
Oh
Obafemi.
shit.
At 55 is Randy Orton. At 56 is AJ Styles. At 57 is Claudio Castagnoli, formerly Cesaro.
Cesaro. Hmm
Yep. And then at 58, one spot ahead of Jack Perry is Kevin Owens at 58.
Who validates this? This shit is bullshit. Don't fucking come. Don't bring this shit again on this pod, nigga. That shit was dumb, son.
We about to get another Shinoran like, yo, whoever's talking shit about Kevin Owens, I'm gonna beat your ass.
I
And
mean,
look,
KO.
it don't get better either. Like KO's at 58, right? Ricochet's 63, and I can kind of get that his booking is trash, whatever.
Mhm.
hmm
Solo Sikoa 66. I feel like it's kind of a slap in the face. Say what you want, he's in a prominent role. Finn Balor 68. Dominic Mysterio 69. Funny number for him though.
That's crazy.
Hey,
Might not be his true number. Might be the number they wanted to give him for some jokes, but Dom
can you
Mysterio
blame?
69. That was crazy.
Mhm.
Live.
So where's
Live.
yeah, where's like the women wrestlers? Like are they on this list as well? Is anyone in the
Let me see.
top
Hold
20?
on.
Because I'm like Bianca should probably be up there somewhere high. Um,
Listen,
Becky.
KO's my guy, but I'm not gonna go like if he's at a number that makes sense, okay, cool. But to have some of those guys ahead of him is outrageous.
It's
Like
wild, bro.
it's
It's wild.
outrageous. You know what I mean? So that's all I have to say about it. Like to me, that it killed any validity of that list just off where he's at for me. I'm like,
So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, fuck that
the
list.
women's list is not out yet.
Okay, got
But
you.
last
So they
year's
did
women's
separate.
list, I'll give you
Hmm
the top three. They
Okay,
all work in WWE, and one of
okay,
them didn't work there when the list came out.
interesting. Okay.
So again, and I mentioned her, I think, in the first pod. Number
hmm
one is Rhea Ripley, which is not a
Okay.
shock.
hmm
Number two is Julia, who was about to debut in NXT, who's a beast. She's coming from Stardom. It's like
hmm
the women's version of New Japan. And then number three is Bianca.
Okay. And that's last year. All right, so I'm interested to see what they'll do this year. If
Hmm
anybody's going to get snubbed in any way. Okay,
So
cool.
I think their list doesn't drop until next month. So we'll have to like pay attention to that.
I bet. Yeah, guys, be
Yeah.
on the lookout for that. We're definitely gonna cover that when that drops. Absolutely.
And I'm sure if Rhea Ripley is not number one, Chanel booming everybody.
and that's a fact.
You might as well just write that in and he's gonna boom everybody because there ain't no way.
Only 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
I'll come with the
Got
boxing gloves. Only 3 minutes. You can sign
that.
a waiver and beat your ass. And then we can, then we'll be good after that. And shit.
Like that. All right, cool. All right, so
Hey,
that's